YouTube. So, let's talk about weather. I just got my load information, and one of the things that we do during trip planning is there's this app called My Radar. And you can, obviously it tells you where you are right now, and then you can put your destination, and you can check out the weather, and that helps you in your trip planning to make sure that you have enough time in the event that you need to pull over or the conditions are just too crazy to be driving in and you need to, negotiate for a later drop-off time, whatever the case may be. It's very important to know, since we're drivers, what the road conditions are going to be. And I am finding out the hard way that the universe just really likes to fuck with me. Like, every time I'm driving, the weather is just batshit crazy. I'm so good at driving in the rain now, I don't even care that it's water anymore. I'm just like, whatever. And I'll see people wrecked out, flipped over, on the side of the road, in the ditch, and I'm just like, God bless them, let's keep it moving. So I used to be really fearful as soon as the rain would start. And then of course they say, as soon as the rain starts, all the oil and stuff on the ground comes up, and that's when the roads are the most slippery. So I would be going 45 miles an hour, and I'd see all these trucks flying by me. So my mentor, very nicely actually, says, just so you know, he's been doing this for a little while, so he knows his shit. He said, I don't ever slow down. He was like, if it's really unsafe, then yeah, slow down. He said, but it's just water. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm scared that we're just gonna slip off. He was like, you did pre-trip, right? The tires got enough tread on them. He was like, let them do their job. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this guy, he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to, be wrecked out on the side of the highway. He's not going to tell me anything that's going to put me in harm's way. And that's something that I'm still working on from my previous mentor. Like I said, I got off that truck because of a lot of reasons. It wasn't just the snow. And I love how people just really focus on snow, because now I drive through the snow no fucking problem. It was what happened at that time. So, when he's having this conversation with me now about the storm, I'm looking at the puddling on the road. I'm still, the butterflies are going. I'm anxious. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to keep it right here for right now, which is cool. He's in the sleeper. He does not care as long as I get there safe. That's all he cares about. He's just letting me know you can go 65. It's not going to hurt us. It's not going to kill the truck. Nothing will happen. So at one point, it got really dark really fast. The winds, I had my phone connected to the system, and I was listening to music, and I could hear all of these alerts going off from the radar app. Also, the noise, that big old beep, beep, beep that comes on whenever there's an Amber Alert or something, my phone is set to do that whenever I'm in inclement weather and there is an advisory for whatever area that I'm in. So I'm driving. I have the bells and whistles going off from the radar app. The Qualcomm, our driver leader, is sending us all kinds of pull over, get to a tornado shelter message, all that shit. I'm not paying attention to Qualcomm. I'm hearing these bells and whistles going off. I know where they're coming from because my phone stays on Do Not Disturb except for certain things, and it's all related to trucks. So I know the tone, and I'm like, shit. Obviously, I can see there's something going on. I've been watching the most amazing lightning show I've ever seen in my life. The wind is definitely picking up. I'm watching the trailers in front of me go like this all over the road. I look in my driver's side mirror. My trailer is in the left lane. I'm in the right lane. So I was like, fuck, the wind is really kicking. So, I get the trailer back in, and we were empty at the time, so that thing was fucking going everywhere. Well, then all of a sudden, massive big old balls of hail just start pounding the truck. The wind kicks up even more, and I could literally, the best way I can describe it is it felt like something was underneath the truck and it wasn't the ground. And at that point I could not control the truck because the tires weren't even on the ground. So I yell for him, and he's like, pull over. Like, what are you doing? So it's like, okay, I don't want to be that person that complains about crazy weather all the time. And I had already driven 2 hours through the flooded waters and the crazy rain. We couldn't even see anything in the windshield. I'm becoming more accustomed to the rain and the storms, which is fine. But at the point where I'm pretty sure the windshield is going to be cracked, my trailer, I cannot keep it in the lane. And at this point, I'm trying to steer the tractor, and I could have turned the wheel all the way, hyperextended it left or right. The truck would not have moved, because at this point, I promise you the tires were not gripping the ground at all. So I maneuver over to the side of the highway, as does every other person on this highway. There was not a car for miles, or a truck. Then we wait. I promise I felt like fucking Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. And he came out of the sleeper like, well, is that the wind? Like, this truck was going like this. The trailer, everything. And then it was really dark, so you couldn't really see too much. But looking out my window, my mirror, there is shit flying from all over the place. And it was an open plain area. We were in a place called Claude, Texas, which is about 17 miles from Amarillo. Now, I was in Amarillo the night before, and storm just like this, without the hail and the wind. But it was crazy rain, crazy lightning. There was a little bit of wind that first time that I went through there as well. So already I'm starting to hate Amarillo. So everybody's pulled over. About 15 minutes pass. I'm looking at the radar. I'll drive through the red. I mean, not through the red, but the yellow and the orange and all that stuff, the green. But when it's red and it says, I'm finally getting to read all the messages, not only from our driver leaders and driver development, our driver managers, they're all telling us, if you're empty, pull the fuck over, stop, and get into a shelter somewhere, because little did I know, there was tornadoes touching down all around us. The hail, I would have known it was coming on had I been able to check all these messages they're sending you, which I find to be a huge distraction. When you're driving and this thing is steadily going off, you have a message, a new message has arrived, a new message has arrived. You're driving. You don't need to be over there messing with that, no more than you need to be texting or anything else. So, had I actually reached over and been opening these messages, I think that my panic level would have been even more high. So is it a good thing that they're letting us know? I personally don't think so. Not while I'm on the road. I don't want to know. Let me, I'll stop and check it when I'm done. But had I been opening those messages, I think that I would have handled it a lot worse than what I did. I stuck it out until I couldn't control the vehicle anymore, and then we pulled over. About 15 minutes, it said about 15 to 17 minutes, the red part would be past us, and it was moving east, and we were continuing north. So I was just waiting it out. This super trucker comes flying past us. And he wasn't flying just because we were sitting still. He was going really fast. Hail all over the place. The wind is blowing shit everywhere. Like, it was so dark. If there was a tornado, we didn't see it. But there was plenty of times this was pretty serious. I thought we were going to flip over easily. Like, we were rocking that much. And this trucker flies by. So I'm just in my mind. I'm like, why do super truckers think that it's okay to do this stuff? I mean, a lot of truckers have egos, which is fine, whatever. But nobody thinks that you're cool. Driving 80 miles an hour in a hailstorm. No, I can guarantee you that not one of the 500 people that was pulled over on the side of that highway was looking at him going, damn, he's awesome. Nobody said that. You know what we were all thinking? What the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Now, granted, he had both lanes and the shoulders if he wanted to, and he was driving in the middle of the lanes because there was high water everywhere. But there's always that one that just wants to be a show-off. And you know what? When the hail stopped, the wind calmed down a little, I went ahead and got back out there. There was still people on the side of the road, and the truck behind me decided to go ahead and follow me into the path and stayed behind me for a long time. But about 10 miles up the highway, we were stopped. Big spotlights just everywhere. And with the rain and the wind and everything, it just made those lights even more amplified. That truck, 7 cars with him, all smashed, crashed up, flipped over on the side, on the left side of the highway, in the fucking median, the grassy area between both sides of traffic. Yeah. So for all you super truckers out there, stop. Like, nobody gives a fuck about what you do unless you're being safe and cautious and you're not endangering yourself or anyone else. Earn some points in your ego department doing the right thing. Like, it's just not fucking smart or cool. Nobody is looking at you thinking that you're fucking badass. It is quite the opposite. And 2 of the people were taken away in stretchers and white covers on them. And if y'all watched my videos long enough, y'all know I worked in medicine for a very long time. I have a sister-in-law who's still a paramedic, and she worked with Life Flight and everything, and I know what that means. I've been there. I've seen it. It is not fucking worth it. Like, pull the fuck over. You see every motherfucker on the highway pulled over. Cars, motorcycles, shitloads of 18-wheelers. Literally, when I put my blinker and flashers I put my blinker and I was like, fuck it. I just put the flashers to just start pulling off to the side of the road. All the trucks, we all pulled over at the same time. Our tires did not have traction. There was no reason for anyone to be driving. So, I'm harping on the super trucker because I could have stayed on the road and gone 10 miles an hour just to hurry up and get there. But what the fuck for? I am not going to jeopardize my life. So we're doing Target refrigerated right now. What's in my trailer? I don't fucking know. I'm assuming eggs, milk, maybe some Tyson's chicken. Am I going to put my fucking life at risk for that? Not at all. I don't care if I had a trailer full of Apple products. I don't give a fuck. If I cannot control the vehicle, I don't need to be driving it. That's point blank simple. And that doesn't just go for me. That goes for any professional driver behind the wheel of any vehicle. You just don't need to do it. Does eggs and chicken or whatever the fuck is in this trailer, it can wait. I have a family to get home to. That is the most precious cargo in the world. And nothing should get in the way of that for anybody. And I'm pretty sure that some of these assholes leaving these messages about me not wanting to drive in the snow, I'm pretty sure those are some of those assholes that drive like that on the highway. And unfortunately, it just doesn't end well for them. So, slow the fuck down. If you could see that the whole fucking world has got on the side of the highway, get your ass over there. Like, what are you doing? Again, you're not cool. Not one person is thinking that you're cool at all. So, what have I learned about driving in inclement weather? I had heard from a lot of people that commented on the snow video that, hey, you're supposed to be safe. Swift does not want you. No company wants you on the road endangering their property. They don't like to pay insurance claims. That's not what they're in business for. No company is going to say, get your ass out there. I don't give a fuck, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to do that. If you are not safe behind the vehicle and you don't feel comfortable, just pull over. I was there maybe 15 minutes. There was people still there. There was people lined up all down the highway. But the 2 things that made this vehicle not able to be controlled was the 70 mile an hour winds. I didn't know they were that bad until I pulled over and I was looking at the radar. 70 mile an hour winds. We had an empty trailer. And the hail. I don't want to drive on ice. Nobody should be driving on ice. Ever. It's just, again, not cool. So, Rain, storms, lightning, got it. I can even handle pretty nasty winds. But that was a situation where I needed to pull over. And you know what? I am okay with that. And I'm pretty sure that my mentor is okay with that too, because he just looked at me like, pull over. Like, you can't even see out the window. But I stuck it out as long as I could. And the minute that I could tell that I was not being able to control the tractor with the steering wheel, it was time to pull it over. And yeah, I could have waited a long time with the rest of the people. But again, just because I like to stop, it's not that I like to stop. If my body says I need to stop, well, then I'm going to fucking stop. Because if my body stops working, then this truck is not going to go anywhere. So, for all the small-minded people of the world, it's just called common sense. But contrary to some people's beliefs, I actually want to get there on time. Like, that's the goal. To get there on time and not kill anybody and don't fuck up the cargo. That's the point of this. So, on the side of the road is not where I need to be. It's not where I want to be. So as soon as the two conditions that I felt were prohibiting me from continuing the journey, they stopped. I'm looking at the radar. Yeah, it's still orange and yellow in a lot of spots. It stormed on me. Out of the 11 and a half hours I was driving, about 7 or 8 of them was in just the craziest fucking weather. And going back to what my mentor told me about being able to drive at 65 miles an hour, I had about 4 hours left till I reached the destination. And I had been driving between 45 and 55 most of this time because it was just really shitty. Some of the turns I needed to turn on was completely underwater and blocked off. So there was a lot of detouring. It was just a very stressful night. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on one second. Yep, you can see a little bit. Well, not in this lighting. Nope. Alright. Anyways, I have blisters on my my middle finger and my ring finger from gripping the steering wheel so fucking hard. When I tell y'all that was some hard shit to drive through, it was. But you know what? I did it and I'm fine. And sometimes that may not be the case for some people. There's some people that are just really terrified of certain things. And I just want to say, whether you're a guy or a girl, it is okay. Fuck what everybody else is talking about, because there's always going to be some asshole out there who's probably flipping burgers at McDonald's, never even been behind the wheel of a truck, who's going to say, oh my God, you need to get the fuck out of trucking. Alright. Again, this is the world of technology. There is going to be a lot of people saying, oh my God, you need to do this and you need to do that, and you definitely don't need to be doing this. And they will talk a big game. But at the end of the day, it could be a 500-pound serial killer sitting in his mom's basement. You honestly don't know who you're talking to out here. When you start talking about social media and all this other shit. So, I have gotten comments from actually more guys than the girls stating, you know, they've gone to bat for me for the people that talk a lot of shit and this and that. But they've been in the same or similar situation and they've had people talk shit to them. And I'm like, they're like, don't let it discourage you. I don't. Thank you so much for your support. I don't let anything discourage me ever. I am my biggest critic. And at the end of the day, I just don't quit. I have to keep going. And leaving my mentor was not a quitting decision. It was something that needed to be done. So there's a difference between just quitting. If I quit, I wouldn't still be here doing what I'm doing. I needed to change the situation, not only for myself, but for him as well. So, I'm in a better situation, as y'all already know. And this learning experience was a lot smoother than it probably would have been with any other person, not just my previous mentor. So, life is great. But for the people out there that have, there have been people that tell me they don't drive if it's raining real bad. You know, there's some people that, like me, just don't care to drive in the snow or ice. My mentor is one. If he has a very bad situation that happened to him on some ice this past winter, he will not drive in the snow and ice. That is okay. That is okay. There's other truckers out there, super truckers mostly, that think putting that you can drive on ice on your resume like puts you at the top of some imaginary list. Okay, if that makes you sleep better at night, that's fine. But do what is best for you. Fuck all the other noise. Nobody cares. They're gonna yap, yappity, yappity, yap. At the end of the day, most of these people that I've gone and researched, they're not even truck drivers. And I don't eat at McDonald's, don't fucking like McDonald's, but I use McDonald's as an example because one of the guys that is out there talking shit on a lot of trucking videos, channels, he fucking works at McDonald's. So, consider the source when you're hearing all this yippity yap on social media, and do what's right for you. And ladies, there's going to be guys that are just going to heckle you and they're just going to talk a lot of shit. Don't let it get to you. I know women are very emotional people. I say women, not including myself, because I wasn't raised to be girly. Obviously, I'm covered in tattoos. I'm very much a tomboy. And I wasn't allowed to have feelings. I'll say it like that. So, but a lot of my female friends, they're very emotional. Everything they do comes from the heart. And, you know, this isn't the industry for all that. If you come out here with, you know, your heart on your sleeve and you're very emotional, you're going to have a lot of problems. You have to come out here with the mentality that you're a badass bitch. You are a boss bitch and you have to tune the rest of the world out. That's just the way it is. And as long as you can do that, you'll do fine. Women are better drivers. I'm not saying that because I'm a woman. I'm saying that because those are the facts. We're more safe. We don't have the egos that the men have. And we're cautious. We are nurturing people by nature, and we don't want to drive on ice and kill people. We don't want to show off our badass trucking skills and wreck into 7 people and killing at least 2 of them that I saw. We're not built that way. So, when females ask me, you know, how do you feel about trucking, this and that, I think more females need to be in trucking. We'd have less accidents on the road. That's for damn sure. And we're not afraid to say, hey, I don't feel safe in these conditions. We get off the road. And that's what you need to do. All drivers, even if you're in a regular fucking car, get off the road. There are some instances where you just don't belong on the road. And when your tires are not gripping the ground, that's one of them. Get the fuck off the road. So, I just finished doing our trip plan for our load that we're picking up tonight. He's reefer, so he does a lot of stops. So I get to plan out all the stops. I drive us all the way there. He gets out and drives all the stops and drives us about 3 hours back in, and then I pick up the rest of the way, and we just keep on going. So already looking into the forecast, I'm driving tonight. So of course, there is shitty fucking weather the whole damn way. And I'm like, oh. He drove yesterday for 10 hours and not a fucking sprinkle in sight. It was a beautiful day yesterday. I wake up today, it's cloudy, it's humid, you can smell the rain, and I look on the radar for trip planning. I'm going to be going through it again. So, at least I'm getting a lot of rain driving experience in. And it's cool. The more the better. The more the merrier, right? So, those are some of the conditions that I have had to deal with. Again, the snow hasn't been an issue. Actually, I think I've only seen snow like twice since that first incident. So, it's not even anything I'm dealing with on a regular basis. And if it was, again, I'm completely fine with it. Ice, I will not drive on ice. It'll never happen, and I don't care what you say. It's just not going to happen. Go be super trucker on your own time, and make sure I'm not on the road when you do it. But as for me and my family and my truck, we will not be driving on the ice. And that's okay. So, if you're out on the roads today in North Texas, right now I'm in Denton, so I will go up to Wichita Falls, Amarillo, scoot on over. We're headed into El Paso, New Mexico, and back up to Colorado. So, if you're in any of those areas and you're out driving, just know the same storm that was out and about day before yesterday is going to be out and about again tonight. So, keep it safe. Let's drive safe and get home to our precious cargoes at our homes where we really live, not in these trucks. That's what we need to be thinking about. So I'm gonna go get some rest because I got a very long night ahead of me, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.